Well, as of August of last year, I had no hope. I had no joy. All I had was pain, depression, weakness, tiredness. Life just wasn't good anymore. And it must have been when I was 10 years old. I know that God was leading me to my husband, and he is my fibromate. So, like I said, it was August last year. I was preparing to go on vacation with my husband and his sister. I had been trying to get things together. I have to do several days ahead of time in order to do anything at all. So I was preparing clothes to get ready to pack on a Tuesday morning, there at the last of August. And I had been praying and had studied my scriptures and asked God to direct my path in my life to somebody, somewhere, somehow, some way. Well, I knew he could do this, but I didn't expect the answer as fast as he gave it to me. You know, he says, trust me, try me, prove me. On Wednesday morning, I was sitting and doing some things, and because when you have fibromyalgia, you do not stand a whole lot. You don't sit a whole lot, you just feel miserable. And this infomercial came on television. And I knew beyond a shadow of doubt that this was what God was sending to me. And at that point in time, my husband had been saying we need to maybe to see a chiropractor because I wasn't getting any better. All I was on was medications. And so I said, well, we'll try this. And I told him about seeing the infomercial. And he said, well, call him and see if you can get an appointment, you know, after we come back from the beach. So I did. And I know each one of you have probably heard sometime in your life, you know, or if you've read the scriptures at all, that when Jesus spoke, even the birds stopped their singing. And I have not shared this with Dr. Drury or Dr. Melville Hill or Judy or any of the ladies there in the office. But Judy answered the telephone that morning for me. And her voice was so sweet and so kind to me. And she was caring. And that's what it sounded like to me. And I've shared this so many times with our church family, our friends, my neighbors. And God directed me there. As of September the 3rd, the first adjustment I had, I felt the blood flow go into my neck, my head, out my arms and my hands. And ever since then, I have not had depression. And within itself, and the hands that done that for me, that God directed his life, and Dr. Melville Hill's, it's been glorious to know that I'm not in pain. Yes, there's some days that I still feel bad, but it's like Dr. Drury said, they'll be further and further between, and they have been. And this has been miraculous. I share it everywhere I go. I've called people. I've taken videos. I've taken papers on it, trying to feed them what God had done for me and in his direction in my life. I have been able to do things in my home, for my church family, for our community, our town, that I haven't been able to do in years. 4 years ago, 26th day of April, the doctor took me out of work because I just could not go any further. And this has been a blessing in my life. And I take a blood pressure pill. And before I was on so many medications and pain medicines and different things. So I just stayed as a zombie. But it's been one of the most wonderful things that's ever happened in my life. And other than my salvation and my marriage and my children, this is tops. And I thank him for it.